Hey guys, welcome. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy here in Montreal, Canada. And I don't know about you guys, but it was an absolute amazing show yesterday, last night, Friday night, May 10th, into early Saturday morning with the amazing auroras. The northern lights were just spectacular. I'd love to hear from you if you did get to see the northern lights. I put out a notice on my page. I was talking about those sunspots, and boy, those sunspots are incredible. Take a look at this, guys. This is the live view of the sun right now as it appears on Saturday. Whittle is joining us. Whittle Wanderer from North Carolina mountains, and yes, they were this far south. I heard how far south? Did you guys get to see it? I heard even in Florida it was visible. Unbelievable. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Whew. That is the sun. So what I want you to look at is, do you see that? You see that those big sunspots over there on the right-hand side of the sun? That is a complex. It's a number of sunspots that are kind of conglomerated together. It's so large, 15 Earths can fit side by side. Imagine 15 of our planets could fit side by side and span that group of sunspots that you see. And that's that sunspot group there on the lower right hand side of the sun, which caused uh, basic an expulsion of excited gas. Sort of like you can think of it sort of like the excited neon gas inside a neon light tube, right? That you see maybe outside of a shop on the storefront, a neon light. So it's excited electrons. It's a cloud of excited electrons that were belched out of the sun over the last couple of days, and they traversed interplanetary space from the sun and hit our planet Earth, and buffeted the magnetic field, and the electrons were funneled in through the north and south pole of the Earth, and basically excited the oxygen atoms and nitrogen atoms, all the different atoms in the upper atmosphere, causing them to glow. And usually it's in the Arctic regions that we see this, but of course this spilled down south. Now let me see if I can show you some pictures. These are pictures that I took here from Montreal, and Montreal usually sees very faint green auroras like what you're seeing here. This is how it kind of began for me when I first saw it. And you can see, I'll show you some series of pictures. This is when it started around 9 o'clock-ish, 9:30, 9:50 p.m. You can see a faint glow, and then it started to really kick in. And look at that. That's looking straight up. There's some electrical lines there, but looking straight up, that is what I saw. It covered half the sky. You see some clouds there as well, but that is really what it looked like for me. And you can see, look at this is straight above, looking above my head. It encompassed most of the sky here in Montreal. And I'm just going to show you some of the, and then the colors. Different colors kicked in, greens and purples. And again, those colors are reflective of what kind of atoms are being excited at the time, are being hit by those excited charged electrons that are funneled in through the atmosphere of the Earth, causing them to glow. And you can see, I'm going to show you, like I took some, it's just amazing. A lot of these were handheld shots with my iPhone 15 Pro Max, handheld, 3 to 10 second shots. I did do some photos on a tripod up to 30 seconds, but I found it was quite unnecessary to do that. Really, it was just amazing. Look at these colors. Aren't they just gorgeous? And I posted a few of these at the moment on my Facebook page last night. And even the moon was up. There's my daughter. You can pose people. It's like, you can have a lot of fun watching this. Now, Blaine is asking, is there a possibility of this being visible? Yes, Saturday there is. The storm is still going on. Let me see if I can show you on Safari. Here we go. So I like to go onto the website spaceweather.com. This is spaceweather.com right there. And there already you can see, let me see if I can just oop, 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 oop. Having a technical difficulty here. Why am I blocked? Okay. There we go. So what you can see here, it says here, the storm is not over. A CME, a coronal mass ejection, hit Earth's magnetic field on May 10th. That was Saturday, sparking the biggest geomagnetic storm in almost 20 years. Absolutely. The last time I saw it was around 2003 was the last strong one. Now, it was ranked as a G5. So this is like if it was on a scale of hurricanes, we would be talking about something like we would be talking about a hurricane, class, what is it, 4 or 5 on the hurricane scale. I mean, the intensity was impressive. Now, will it continue? Maybe, maybe not, but there was a series, like I said, of multiple coronal mass ejections that were released from the sun. And here, look at this photo. This photo was taken all the way in Florida. Folks, as far south as Florida. And you can see even here they're mentioning on spaceweather.com that as low as latitude 24 degrees north of the equator. I'm just to give you an idea. Here in Montreal, I'm 45 degrees latitude north, so halfway between the pole and the equator. And we usually see very faint auroras, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Very, very faint. Most people totally miss it. You have to be out of the city, out of the light pollution to even have a chance of seeing. They're photographic mostly. They only come up on photographs. You can't see it visually. That's usually the case here. But these, look at this. This is like colors, intense colors, as far south as Florida. So impressive. I'd love to hear from you guys. What did you see? I see Katrin from Germany's here. Josie, Mary from Florida. Beautiful. It was cloudy where I was living in Florida. Mary says, oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe you'll get lucky. Can I see them in Italy? Brenda's asking. Possibly. It is very possible. If we look at what the situation is, look at the technical data. I'll try to interpret. Here you can see on the left-hand side showing you a map of North America. That is, here, I'll put it in a larger format. This is how currently, right now, at noon, 12 o'clock p.m., Saturday, Eastern time in North America, this is how the aurora is right now. It's very intense, still very intense. You see how it red over the Arctic region? That means there's auroras possible there. So if it's dark where you are and it's nighttime, it's possible still to see auroras right now. So it is really a great idea to go outside on Saturday night when night falls to see if you can see further auroras. Let's see if we can go back to this previous page. And if we just kind of go down, I want to show you this right here. It's called the planetary. I'm going to highlight it here. You see that? I'm highlighting on the left-hand side this stuff here. It says the KP, it says, is 8.6. See, it says 8.6 storm level. And the maximum in the last 24 hours has been 9.00. So just to give you, this is sort of like the Richter scale of storm and geomagnetic storm intensity. Usually, I get even excited when this number goes to about 5 or 6. That's really good. But these storm levels here are showing that it went up to 9, and it's almost at 9 right now, as of Saturday, midday Eastern time. Now, because it's daylight where I am, I can't see anything because it's daytime. I'll show you. Look, that's my skies above me. Blue skies, beautiful. I can't see auroras now. I have to wait until it gets dark. So one of the things you want to look for is that this KP level being very high. If it's something like 6, 7, 8, or 9, there's good chances of seeing auroras. So I want you guys to be looking again. This is on the webpage spaceweather.com. Spaceweather.com. It's a great site that I like to go to, and I keep watching these levels just so that you know. I'm going to put the the URL in here for you so you guys can get. There it is. It's in the chat. You can look at it for yourself. It's really, really cool. Highly recommend it. So if we go back and I show you perhaps some of the more pictures that I have, you can see the sun beside me in the little mark right here, right, where is it? Right here. That's the sun live. You can see the sunspots. And let me see if I can show you more pictures. Um, there you go. That's my daughter with her dog actually outside there. It's really incredible to be able to see this. I couldn't believe how strong the auroras were last night. It's been 20 years since I last saw something like this. Look at that. Look how impressive this is. The colors. Again, these are handheld shots with my iPhone. 3 5-second exposures, literally holding it with my hand. And just awesome. Just being able to take photos like this. Look at the colors. And handheld. Like it's usually you'd have to take 20 seconds, 30-second exposures to bring out colors like this. Kimberly in Missouri says, can't believe saw this in Missouri. It was incredible. Sebastian, Florida. John, there in Sebastian, Florida, says very red. Unbelievable. Just look at these photos. These are all handheld. The colors, look at the colors. It's just whew, pinks. The intensity of the purples. Look at this. This looks like to me on the side, kind of like an eagle flying. Maybe it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It really is just this took up most of the overhead sky. This picture that you see here, again, just taking my phone, holding it up above my head and snapping a picture with my iPhone. That's all it is, making sure that of course the flash is off. And this is the level of stuff. This is the more traditional green auroras looking towards the north. I was on a side of a river, the Ottawa River, just outside of Montreal. I'm probably about 40 minutes drive outside of the island, off the island of Montreal, sort of in the southwest of Montreal. And I mean, look at these pictures, one after the other. Shelley says in Montana, we had beautiful auroras. Wow. Ilyak from BC says it's also amazing there. And again, Saturday we expect still there's chances of look at the deep orange. This one was unbelievable. Look at the oranges and reds. It's crazy. Pinks too. Then it turned into pink. This is within the matter of seconds and minutes, the changing of the colors. So I'm really just showing you this is something that any of you can do with your phones. And if it can take a few seconds of shock, the nighttime abilities of your smartphones, especially if you have like iPhones, Samsungs, Galaxies, these more recent versions that are released, these phones that are just maybe the last 2-3 years, amazing capabilities. Try taking pictures of the moon as well. You can see there some auroras encompassing the moon. Just some experimental shots. Look, and you can see the clouds. Sometimes, with the naked eye looking at auroras, you say, is that a cloud? Because you can't see the colors. Here you can see definitely what the difference is between what a cloud looks like in the forefront. You can see them right in front of the auroras there, a little small cloud bank that moved across the auroras. And remember, auroras are this excited gas molecules, oxygen and nitrogen, in the upper atmosphere. So really, really, really cool. How did ancient civilizations interpret these? Good question. We kind of wonder. Like a lot of them thought this was, the gods giving them, messages from heaven above. I mean, there was a deeply religious experience. I'm quite sure. Muaz from Malaysia joining. Hey, great of you to be here. And Kimberly says, yes, the dark blue to purple to pink, then orange. The colors were so deep and rich to pale pastel. So beautiful to view. Absolutely. It's It blew my mind. Like I said, I think in my life this is the third time only that I've been able to see auroras with this intensity in my lifetime. This is probably, I would say, probably the best auroras I've seen. And I've never actually gone trekked up into the Arctic. Many people spend so much money to travel to places like the Yukon, Northwest Territories, Alaska to go see auroras like this. Again, if you're just joining me, these are pictures that I took just off the island of Montreal, very light polluted area, still beautiful auroras visible. I was with hundreds of people who trekked out to a small little park next to the Ottawa River, and these are just pictures. I'm still just going through all these handheld. Look at this. This is just a roadside. There's some electrical lines. This is actually just in my backyard around midnight last night, showing you what the auroras looked from my backyard. I live in a forested area, so there's a lot of pretty trees, pine trees, white pines, birch in my area. The leaves just popped on the birch, and I could see some intense. And then the show started again. Again, this was like after midnight. Um, I was just walking my dogs on my street, just taking pictures, handheld, holding the leash of my dogs, and, and with one hand snapping pictures of auroras above my the streets where I am, with my neighbors' houses and stuff, my neighborhood. Just gorgeous. Look at this. This was above my head while I was walking my dog on the street, literally with one hand. I clicked this picture. Incredible. With my iPhone. How the ease of being able to capture these colors, the shapes, as of Kimberly was saying, the pastel colors, and then suddenly pop, there were these intense colors. Look at that. There's some cloud. You can see a cloud bank in the forefront there, the white clouds there at the bottom part of the picture, and then you see those amazing green colored auroras. Just hold on, you'll see. This is the back of my house here. Just literally, I was lying down on my deck, backyard, in my backyard, doing these pictures. Look at this, and watch this. The intensity even increased even more. Look at that. Look at the purple. Look at the deep purple and the greens, and then some sparkling of some little clouds there as well. And then it goes away. Then it comes back again. I mean, just look at that. Blows my mind. The intensity of what was there to see. It was crazy, just crazy. So here we are. Let's see if we can get back. And this is the sun. So what you're seeing here is literally the sun. Whoops. Let's see if we can go back there. Yeah. And there we are. You can see the sun as it is right now. Now, what you're seeing, this view, is a view through a small telescope I have. It's by Veonis. I want to put a shout out to the company Veonis. They're in France, and they've provided me this telescope observation station. It's a robotic telescope, fully independent. Really easy to set up, has a solar filter on it, and it finds the sun automatically, focuses automatically. Easy, you just plop the telescope down and it starts viewing it. Has a nice white light filter, produces this very pleasing orange color to the sun. So this is a live view of what the sun looks like. And all those pretty auroras that you saw coming about in the last night are thanks to that sunspot that you see on the lower right. That on the lower right is where literally those sunspots were the ones that caused that light show. Basically, those sunspots threw off a ton of plasma, hot plasma, charged electron clouds called coronal mass ejections into space. That happened like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And there were 6 of these clouds, huge, many times larger than our Earth, that slammed into our planet's magnetic field, rattled it, and it funneled. Naturally, our magnetic field funnels through the north and southern poles these charged electrons, and it makes the atoms in the atmosphere, in the upper atmosphere, glow. So all this action, these auroras, these northern lights that you saw, were happening. This glow was happening many kilometers above our heads. We're talking dozens of kilometers, maybe 20, 30, 70 kilometers, really in the upper atmosphere where most of this glow was happening. And it spread into the southern latitudes. Now, will it be visible today? That's what Sunil's asking. It's very possible. Storm conditions, according to spaceweather.com, is still showing an NOAA, the folks that actually forecast these are saying, yes, we're still in storm conditions. It's equivalent to like a hurricane class, like a 4 or 5. So very intense possibilities of these. Will it be the same tonight? We don't know. We never know in the intensity of the auroras and exactly how far they're going to spill and where they're going to pop up geographically. This kind of forecasting is still in its infancy. We're just not there yet. But we do have some indications because of the charged particles. We can see from the satellites when these clouds are going to hit Earth, which ones are directed towards Earth. And so we have a little bit better idea of when to go outside and watch. And I can tell you clearly, if it's dark right now where you are, go outside to see if you can see auroras. Now, perhaps it's possible you might need your smartphone to be able to see that, right? You might need your smartphone to be able to see the auroras. It might not be visible with the naked eye if you have light pollution, if it's a faint aurora, if you're very southerly latitudes, you may need those phones. Snap a picture, try to take a 10-second, 20-second, 30-second exposure. Put your smartphone on a tripod so that it doesn't shake, right? And you can take longer exposures. I know with iPhones, you can unlock 10-second, 20-second, 30-second exposures with your iPhone if you put it on a tripod. If you just lock it down so that it doesn't shake in your hand, then you can do very long exposures, and that's when you can pick up faint auroras. So Cliff, basically, we don't know for sure, but there's a good chance. Right now, if it's dark where you are, if it's nighttime where you are, it's a good chance that there might be auroras visible, especially if you're in higher latitudes. So John saying, what a great pleasure to see so many people out looking up rather than our usual human games. Absolutely. Isn't it nice to be able to see stuff in the sky instead of being, um, you know, involved in all our problems, eh? It's nice to have something beautiful, nature providing a wonderful show. So, Stacy's also asking, will be able to catch it tonight? I missed it, sadly. I'm in Georgia, USA. Yeah, I know. It went down as far as Florida. Saw a lot of red-colored, orange-colored auroras popping up as far south as Florida. So yes, perhaps there is a chance of being able to see it. Love to see where you guys are watching from. Did you see the auroras? Do chime in. We're watching a live view of the sun. You can see that real big sunspot on this lower right-hand side of the sun. That is what produced all the auroras the last night, and the last today possibly too. It's because of that, and it's turning away. You can see as the sun you can see it it's turning away slowly, and so we'll see if it comes back in 2 weeks' time when it rotates back around and faces Earth again. Will it be bigger? Will it have dissipated that sunspot group? Who knows? We'll just have to keep an eye on it. I'll make sure I'll be posting stuff here on my channels, whether it's YouTube, Facebook. Please do show your support. If you like stuff like this and you find value to it, you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, share it in your network, and please do subscribe. It means so much. It allows me to bring these kind of shows, live streams to you, views of the sky. In this case, views of the sun through a small telescope that I have. I'm so fortunate to have, provided by Veonis, a very nice, innovative French telescope company that's provided this wonderful smart observation station. It's basically a telescope plus camera system. It's a combination of a camera and a telescope together, and it makes it so easy to view the sky, whether it's the sun, stars, galaxies, nebula, all that good stuff. And please stay tuned on my channel. We'll be doing live streams of the night sky as well. So you want to get notified. Hit that notification. Do check back often, because on my timeline and posts, and I'll let you guys know when I'll be doing some nice live streams of the evening as well. So it's great for you guys. Where are you guys joining me from? Let's see. And Dennis says the sunspot now in the danger zone. Yeah. Dorian's watching from South Africa. Welcome. Well, you might be in store for some, also for auroras. Remember, take your phone out, snap some pictures. You might be something that you can see. Ah, we've got Whittle Wanderer. I'm so happy I followed you on Twitch. I got a notification you were live. Thank you, sir. Hey, wow, Twitch, finally, some traction on Twitch as well. I knew I'd get some friends on Twitch. Thanks, Whittle Wanderer, for joining this live stream. I'm so happy you did get notified. So the system is working. That's right. So see, it's worth getting notified, signing up, because you do get notifications when I do go live with something. Chennai Kalpana from Chilpai, India. Chennai is a beautiful location. I have a lot of stargazing friends in that location. It's very strong in astronomy in the Chennai region. Brent from London, Ontario, a fellow Canuck. Welcome, Brent. Thanks for joining my live stream of the sun. So we're actually watching the sun, and look at that big screen. I'm going to zoom in with this telescope here, and that is the Sunspot group that through coronal mass ejections, 6 of them at least that we know of. I've read that on spaceweather.com. I've put the link to spaceweather.com in the comments. You can scroll back and see. I did that a little while ago. Fantastic. It's just amazing. Despina from Brussels joining us. Ernesto from Katy, Texas. Paul from the UK. Welcome, Paul. I'd love to hear if anyone's seeing auroras already, maybe perhaps in Europe or in Asia. RK from Seoul, Korea. Welcome. So nice of you to join from Facebook. Again, if this is your first time around, I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. I work with National Geographic and other brands as well, sharing amazing stuff of the night sky. I just love, my passion is the night sky, and I love to share it with everyone. And this time I'm sharing this amazing view of that big sunspot. Now imagine this sunspot group from one end, from the left end to the right end, actually takes up 15 Earths side by side. 15 of our planets side by side is how big that sunspot group is. And you can see some other sunspots. There's little ones. There's a little one there. And then if we move up above, there's another sunspot. And there look like little freckles on the sun, eh? 3, 4. I can count 4 there. Yeah, there's one rolling over. You can see a small one, a couple of ones there on that side of the sun. Those are going to be coming into view slowly over the course of the next few days. So stay tuned for those. But it's that big one right here. This is the one that is the culprit for all those auroras that we've seen. It's very active, throwing out a lot of flares, even causing radio blackouts over the Pacific Basin late yesterday on Friday. Just incredible stuff. Who else is here? We've got Rui from Portugal, Raquel from Simi Valley, California. Hey, and Amy from Calgary. Um, so nice. Rui says saw from Portugal. Really? You saw the auroras yesterday? What did they look like? Did you see colors? It's just incredible that you could see them from Portugal. Marcia says northern lights last night in North Carolina. That's it's almost unheard of to see auroras so far south latitude like that. Are there any other reports of other effects on Earth, such as satellites and power grids? Not that I've heard of regarding those, but I know that there were like radio blackouts, generally radio blackouts, because of the flares that sunspot. This sunspot over here was the one that threw out flares as well, not just charged um, uh, CMEs, but also flares, and that would cause that. Though those X-rays were traveling at the speed of light and arrives because the sun is 150 million kilometers away from Earth. It literally arrives in about 8.5 minutes. Imagine that. So what you're seeing here, it takes 8.5 minutes at the speed of light these photons of light to reach us. We're seeing the sun as it appeared 8.5 minutes back in time. This view that you're watching right now. Isn't that incredible? So even the X-rays that are thrown out from the flares take 8.5 minutes to reach us. Well, Melanie, watching from Montreal, NDG, was lucky to see the aurora last night. Was faint but beautiful and was able to see with the naked eye. Our colors were mostly green and blue with a faint purple. Loved it. Oh, isn't that amazing? The colors and pastel colors too. Yeah, definitely strong colors. We've got Robert from Suffolk, UK joining us. Kevin from Castleman, Ontario. Oh, not too far down the road from where I am in Montreal. Pamela from Montreal also, fellow Montreal, great. Adriana from Lincoln, California, very nice. Able to see the lights despite the bright city lights, says Pamela. Rui said it was reddish. Yeah, definitely there was. I found a lot of red tones. Earlier in the evening, around 10 o'clock, it was all these crazy colors and pinks and purples, greens and blues. And then it kind of settled into this general glow of red and orange I found here for quite a while. And then it kicked in again like around 12 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock into more green purple colors. It's crazy how those change. And again, those colors, they represent different types of atoms that are being excited in the upper atmosphere of the Earth. Oxygen, nitrogen, these atoms glow in different colors. Kimberly says family in central Mississippi could see them using their cameras in the deep south. Can you believe it? I would have to never have thought it possible. I know. It's very rare to see that. Once in a generation, really, to have something like the show that we saw on last night on Friday. David's asking, the big question everyone wants to know, is it going to happen tonight again? Look, it could. I think right now we're still officially in storm levels. So, this sunspot right here is really the culprit. This is what's causing those charged particles to be thrown off the surface of the sun and arrive on Earth. And there were 6 of these clouds that are coming consecutively, one after the other, hitting the Earth's magnetic field. So it's very possible that we will have more auroras tonight. So definitely we need to be on the lookout for them. Um, Adriana is asking, do you think we'll be able to see them in Orange County, California, Southern California tonight? Possible if these storm conditions continue. Right now, we're still in same kind of conditions. The weather, space weather conditions are same as last night. So if it stays, obviously it has to get dark where you are, right, Adriana? It has to get dark in California. So tonight, as soon as it gets dark, once the sun sets and it darkens the sky completely, I would go out and look for it. If the conditions still continue, and remember, my suggestion is definitely checking out the website. Spaceweather.com. Let me just see if I can go back into here. This is spaceweather.com, and you can see that they say the storm is not over. A CME has hit Earth's magnetic field on May 10th. That was Friday night, sparking the biggest geomagnetic storm in 20 years, and an extreme Category 5 event. So that's pretty much at the highest level that this can happen. So yeah, I mean, definitely this is something that you want to really be able to take advantage of. It's still storm conditions still. And you can see right here, I'm going to show you. You see this green video here? This is the flare, the strongest X-ray X flare yet. A giant sunspot, that's the one that I've been showing you on my live stream, has unleashed another X flare today, May 11th. So early this morning, it released another one, the strongest yet. And this was captured. This green view that you're seeing here, is captured by NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory. It's basically a satellite that's dedicated for viewing the sun and the flares on the sun. And you can see here, Adriana and everyone else, where it's red. This map here shows you where the auroras are right now. So basically, it's dark on, we're in North America here, but folks that are in Asia and Europe will be getting the possibility of auroras. And those in Asia, high Arctic region, maybe mid latitudes, could have a chance right now as we're speaking of auroras, because we're still in the conditions of being storm levels. And I'll show you here. This is the NOAA's website. I'm going to give you this one. This is where it gives you kind of like the Richter scale of potentials for storm levels that you want to keep an eye out. Here, I'm going to put it in the comments so you can check it out yourself. All of this is live I'm doing, so just bear with me. And so what you're seeing here on the screen, I'm showing you the potential here of a geomagnetic storm, and we're in still a G3, a strong system. It's showing us here at the top. It's in orange, and look and see red and orange bars. These are high. See, these were green. This is before. This was Friday. See, all day Friday and Thursday we were low green levels. This means that that cloud from the sun hadn't arrived yet, and then suddenly, boom! In the mid-afternoon in North American time, it started. So that's why our friends, those of you in the UK, in Germany, in Romania, my friends there were already seeing auroras because it was nighttime already, early evening. They were already seeing auroras. And then it got dark for us here in North America, and look, it became dark red. You see how high these bars are? It means that it's very intense, the storm levels, and that's when we get to see auroras. So again, I'd advise you to go onto this website and check out these bars. If these bars are high, when it's dark where you are, then it's a good chance of seeing auroras. You want to go out. It really helps that opportunity out quite a bit in being able to see what's going on. Again, here we are. So Adriana, I hope that helps, gets you oriented and being able. I'll be putting up posts on my Facebook, so just do keep an eye out for updates from me and what the conditions are as well, because I'm really excited. I'm hoping that we get to see more of these auroras thanks to this big guy right there, that big complex, sunspot complex right there. That's what's causing all the action for us. So, and if you have any questions, just do put them in. We've got folks. Michael, you're welcome. Absolutely, this is something that is an um, impressive site. Whittle Wanderer is asking if are the folks on ISS safe? I believe so. They are pretty safe, but if it gets very strong, it can throw out, it can fry circuit boards on satellites and such. So I would presume, yes, they have to be, if the storm levels of the flare, particularly those X-rays, those are nasty, right? X-rays, if you don't want to be bathed in X-rays, there's a place they can go in the central part of the station, the core part, where they can kind of huddle in and wait out the storm levels if they need to. So I'm pretty sure they're watching. I haven't seen any updates. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any updates from NASA regarding that, but I'd be interested in knowing about that, as how safe they are. But I think at this point it is safe, and it's really those X-ray flares that are the dangerous part that can to our technology too, and that we haven't seen. So right now it's just a pretty light show mostly. That's what we're getting from these auroras. Um, Share where you're watching from. I'd love to see. I've got folks from YouTube on here, Facebook, Twitch. That's awesome. Folks everywhere around the world, and we're watching a live view of the sun from Montreal, Canada, where I am. I'm in my backyard, basically. It's a beautiful blue skies. Look at that. See how beautiful the blue skies are? Just gorgeous. Not many clouds at all. It's nice. It's about, I would say, about 15, 16 degrees Celsius. Very, very pleasant. I'm in a t-shirt here outside. This is early spring for us here in Montreal. And thanks so much for joining me. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, and you're on my channel watching my live stream of the sun after an amazing night of auroras, northern lights. I love to hear your stories. Do share them here in the comments. I'm reading through them. You're welcome, Adriana. I hope that helped. Brent, how long does it take solar wind to reach Earth? Well, this is again, they can only go the fastest they could go is at the speed of light, right? So it's 300,000 kilometers per second. And that would mean 8.5 minutes. That's the X-rays. But the wind, uh, these CMEs of these charged particle clouds that are thrown off, belched off the surface of the sun, which produces the auroras, they travel more slowly because these are basically gas clouds, and it can take. Usually the smaller clouds, the less energetic ones, take maybe 3, 4 days at most to get here. Imagine that's from the sun, has to go past Mercury, the orbit of Venus, and then eventually to Earth. That's 150 million kilometers, Brent, that it has to travel. And so if it's powerful enough, like the ones we just saw produce these crazy auroras last night, they took, like they were fast moving, like a couple of days, a day only. It's really just it. These were fast moving clouds. So they traversed 150 million kilometers in like 48 hours. I mean, you can do the math for that. It's incredible, mind-boggling speed. So you can tell that those were, and they were, imagine these things were being thrown off the sun one after the other. So, and some of them, they were say there was even talk I saw of a cannibal CME. A cannibal CME means the clouds, a slow-moving cloud was smashed into by a faster moving cloud behind it, and they combined forces. So the cloud became even more powerful. So it this space weather stuff, we're only just really learning about it in the last decade or two, and just understanding it because thanks to satellites that we put up that are dedicated to watching the sun. William from Oakville, Ontario, just down the road from where I am, about 4 or 5 hours drive. This morning at 5 a.m. was fantastic. Really, went to Collingwood area, chased them in, chased them all night. No regrets. Saw them dancing with my eyes. Thank you for sharing your videos. Absolutely, my pleasure, Lillian, and I'm so happy you got to see some beautiful northern lights. Michael says, my daughter was loving it. First time for both of us to see the Northern Lights. Absolutely. It was a family affair for me too, Michael. I had my daughters. I have two teenage daughters, 15 and 16, and I've been talking about auroras all their life. And I've been chasing them for them, basically, to get a chance to see them, because I remember my last one was 2003, and I saw them in Ottawa, not too far from where I live. And I was on a backyard barbecue, and it looked like a science fiction film. I was enveloped inside of a nebula. That's what it looked like above me. Just gorgeous. And um, I didn't have kids back then, but now I do. I have two daughters, and they're teenagers, and it's hard to impress teenagers. Let me tell you that. If those of you who do have teenagers as kids, it's a tough crowd, right? To pique their interest. But I got them. I've been talking about it since they were little, and so finally I said, please come out with me. I convinced them to do it. I showed them that the conditions were great. It was storm condition. I think they also saw it on their social media. My girls, all their on their Instagram and all that stuff. So they said, okay, we'll go out. So we all went out, even with our dogs, and it was awesome. It was a family affair. They did not regret it. It was, and you know what's also great? If you can, try to take pictures with your kids and the auroras. It was really a fun thing, and a great little tip if you want to do that. Again, handheld if it's strong enough, you hold your phone. But if you could get an extra light source, like a flashlight, and you just br briefly for a second flash that light while you're taking that photograph of the aurora onto the face of the person you want to take a portrait of, they're in the foreground of this beautiful aurora in the back. You can do that. It's not too hard to do, and you can make quite a pleasing photograph that way because it lights up their face. You just want to flash. That's all you do. You don't want to keep it shining on it because it'll overexpose and you won't see the faint auroras in the background. But just a quick flash of the face, and that's all you need. And it produces a very pleasing shot. So try that out. Um, Michael from Cebu, Philippines, watching. I wish I was back in Maine where I grew up so that I could watch the auroras, which is more spectacular than any I have ever saw when I lived there. Yeah, it's crazy now. It's so tonight maybe we'll see some. Marlene likes the idea. You like that idea of yeah, doing a portrait? Man, remember just a quick flash of light. That's all you need. So you need this extra source, right? You have your phone and then have an extra light to do that. And it's just a quick instant little flash. That's all you need onto their face, and it'll make a big difference in your photographs. Try it out. It's a lot of fun. We're their dude. Well, we're their dude. I'm in Montreal, Canada. You can see it says right up there. That's where this view is coming from. It's northeastern North America, and we're looking at that giant sunspot that caused all those beautiful light shows that we saw last night. Isn't that incredible? And look at that. Tanya, watching from Alaska, had friends so far south as Florida see the auroras last night. Would be nice to see the lights when it's warm out, isn't it? Well, here it was Montreal, usually early May, like it is now. It's chilly, but it was beautiful. I was in a light jacket, and sweat. People were wearing sweaters and hoodies, and it was just like it was so perfect, and no mosquitoes, no black flies. We usually get this time of the year, but there's none yet, and so it's just like the perfect conditions. You could stay out for an hour, two, three, easily to watch the show. Crystal says, I dragged my teenage daughter out to the yard to see it for herself. She loved it. I love that, Crystal. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm so glad to hear you got to share that with your daughter. It is so special seeing something like this. It's so rare. Again, this last time something like this happened, this intense of a show. I mean, we're going back 20 years. It's almost a generation, basically. My kids weren't alive when it was last time like this, so to share something so spectacular that's a nature show like this, it's really something. Uh, a tough crowd of teenagers, yeah. Oh yeah, they're not easy to please, but this is something that they didn't regret going out. They said this is so, and they were sharing it with their friends on the social media, sharing their pictures, and just it was really for me as someone as a space nerd like I am, and you guys all who follow me know that it was really special for me to be able to share that with my daughters. It's like one of those bucket list things, check mark on life. It's like, okay, I got this with my daughter, and it was so cool. Amir is asking, is this going to happen again? Well, you see that sunspot. This is a live view of what it's looking like through my telescope. And these guys are what's causing these light shows. And yes, Amir, it's possible tonight, right now, as we're speaking, if it's dark where you are, if it's nighttime, then go outside and see if you can see the auroras. It might be worth it. It's 12:46 p.m. for me. You can see here, I've got blue skies. So for me, I can't see the auroras. I have to wait until it gets dark. And hopefully, we still have geomagnetic storm conditions. Right now, they are. They're slightly less than last night, but still very intense. Lillian's asking the same question. Are they going to have that? There's a good chance. So watch that spaceweather.com. Watch those big uh, bar peaks that these bar peaks on that website. I shared the link just before. Just scroll through the comments and you'll find it if you missed it. But this website from NOAA, the Space Weather Prediction Center, see those red bars? Those red bars are what you're watching for. You want them to be high and red. That tells us that the conditions are right in the atmosphere of Earth to have potential for auroras. Doesn't guarantee them, but means the conditions are right. It's an intensive geomagnetic storm condition. Means that these charged particle clouds are hitting the Earth's magnetic field. The charged particle clouds are thrown off from the surface of the sun. They're thrown off from this big sunspot. That's where they came from. 150 million kilometers away. Ah, Evelyn from Jamaica on my YouTube channel is saying listening you from Jamaica. I wonder if Jamaica would be anyone in the Caribbean islands are able to see the auroras. Were they able last night? So if you are from somewhere in the Caribbean, I would love to hear from you. Anybody see the auroras from the from off the coast of North America and in the Caribbean? I know we have reports as in the Keys of the Florida Keys, people were seeing a red glow, an intense red glow. So that would be very interesting to see. Martano from Dominican Republic. Did people there, Martano, did anyone in your country see auroras last night? I haven't heard reports. I'd love to hear. David, watching from Warsaw, Missouri. Saw them big time. Oh, yeah, definitely. This is awesome. Serbia had auroras basically south of Europe. That's right. Southern Europe. That's incredible. Missouri, Lee's Summit. Deborah saying it was visible there. No way. Puerto Rico. Christian says Puerto Rico saw some? That is incredible. Oh my goodness. That just tells you how intense this is, and it's a rare event. Serbia had again basically said that's right. Okay. Reports from from the north coast of Dominican Republic. Thank you, Martina, for sharing that. That's really cool. So even in Dominican Republic, people were seeing. Look at that. That's I'm gonna zoom out now. There, you can see some other um, sunspots there. There's some sunspots there as well. Brenda says, I saw them in March 1989. Exactly, yes. Knocked out Quebec's electric. I do remember. I was there, and that was crazy. I remember those auroras. That is the first time I saw an intense northern lights display. That was quite something. We got our entire power grid got knocked out that time. Mexico. Whoa, Lillian, red, pinkish. In Zacatecas, Mexico. Whoa, really? That's impressive. Oh my goodness. That just speaks to how powerful this event was. Um, it's really impressive. So here we are. This is the sun. Again, those of you that are just joining me now, I'm using my smart telescope camera station, observing station, from the good folks at Veonis, French telescope company. Very innovative telescope camera system. It's the merging of a photographic and telescope systems merged together into this amazing platform that's just very easy to use. So big shout out to them. They're and it's with a nice solar filter at the front end, and this is a live view of the sun as it's looking from Montreal, Canada. And there's the culprit. This is the guy that produced all of that action last night for us. It belched out a series of flares, X-ray flares, coronal mass ejections, also known as CMEs, these gigantic clouds of charged particles that was sent towards Earth, traveled over a day or two, and they hit our atmosphere and charged up the atoms in the atmosphere. Atoms like oxygen, nitrogen started to glow in different colors of pinks, purples, oranges. That's what we saw. So it's really impressive, isn't it? That's the big guy. And by the way, the size of this sunspot from left side to the right side spans 15 Earths. 15 of our planets side by side is how big that sunspot is. Isn't that incredible? So, yeah, there you go. Just reading through the comments. No way, Chile. Of course, Chile, probably maybe from in the south. That's right, southern part of Chile, very high southern latitudes. So people, it's not just in the north where the Arctic, it's also the Antarctic region also experiences auroras. It's from both sides of both poles of the Earth. just really impressive stuff. I love seeing this stuff. So there you go. Sunspots. These are these dark regions, cooler regions on the sun. That's what these are. You can see I've put a ticker tape of explanations below that you can read up. It's on some of the specifics about it. So check that out. Absolutely, Marcia. So happy to share my knowledge and my excitement, I guess, and trying to get you guys excited. I don't think I need to get you guys excited, do I? I mean, you guys have seen, if you guys saw the auroras or you're hearing from your friends and family about it, you know why it's so exciting because this is just so impressive visually. This is probably one of the most impressive celestial sights, other than um, the total eclipse of the sun that we had in April. This is incredible. Well, how lucky can we got? We had a total eclipse, and now we have this aurora show. We're just blessed with just amazing things, aren't we? Of nature doing some beautiful things for us here, putting on such a show. So just very impressive. Yeah, that's interesting, Michael, about increased rates of cardiac arrest. Really, I've never heard of that, but that's very interesting. You know, the idea of how we're connected, to things, even a star that's 150 million kilometers away, affects us here on Earth. I mean, it affects our weather too. It's really incredibly. Ah, okay. Marlene's asking, Andrew, do we use the night mode with long exposure to get the lights? Thank you so much for sharing your talents. Well, that's a good question, Marlene. I find that, yeah, you want to make sure that first off, that you don't have the flash working. That's something that really makes a big difference, the flash. So make sure that that's off on your phone. And you want to also make sure that you can put long exposure. So you set that exposure ability on your phone. Sometimes you may need to put it on a tripod to unlock that ability for long exposure. Now, honestly, the Aurora storm last night was so powerful that I didn't need to put it on a tripod. I didn't need to do anything. I literally handheld my phone, and it took about 2, 3 to 5 second exposures by holding it in my hand steady as possible, as steady as I could. And that was enough to take some amazing photos. So it's really quite something. Easy to do. So the X-rays can go, this is Whittle Wanderer, can go at speed of light and the winds go slower. That's right. It's like watching a fireworks and hearing the boom a few seconds later. Yeah, kind of like that, eh? Isn't it? Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. But yeah, definitely the X-rays just go at the speed of light. So it literally arrives 8.5 minutes, those flares and the results. That's what causes like radio blackouts on the side of the Earth that's facing the sun at the time of impact of those X-rays, and that's what caused large-scale blackouts of radio transmissions. It can cause blackouts for like transmissions in the airline industry. Also, the shipping navigation can be affected. Things like that. Ham radio operators definitely can notice an effect from that. So yeah, so those X-rays cut really fast, but the gas clouds just take longer, and it depends on how intense it is when it's thrown off the surface of the sun. If it's really an impressive explosion off the sun, it can go at very high speeds. Like I said, it can take as little as a day to reach us. And I think in this case, for last night's storm, I think there was no more than 48 hours, I think, that it took to reach here, some of those. And some of the slower ones were eaten, cannibalized, as they say, a cannibalized coronal mass ejection from a slower moving one. And that's how it moved. Virginia's talking about the moon. Yeah, last night. Oh, just gorgeous. A thin crescent towards the horizon, and then in back of it there was auroras. I mean, it was just so impressive, so jaw-droppingly beautiful. And the moon, if you got clear skies tonight, will be out again. So do check out the moon, the crescent moon in the southwest. It's something you want to look for. Insane sunspot. I know. Look, let's zoom in on it. There it is. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Look at the size. That size. Remember, 15 Earths side by side. And that's what caused all the action. It's those sunspots. These little guys up here, they don't produce as close to as much energetic events and flares. But this big guy, definitely. This is pretty much like what some of the close to like the largest of sunspots that we've seen in a very long time. I haven't seen one that big in a while. I'm a little scared. No, no, you don't have to be scared. This is just beautiful light show, a lot of fun to see. And we'll see how intense it is tonight. I'm curious. I'm doubting that it'll be as good, but you never know. We'll see. Amy, Otterville, Ontario, at 3:15 in the morning until 4:30 a.m. I was out on our farm in darkness away from the lights, and it was still fantastic, even though the colors weren't as brilliant as earlier in the night. Aha, right. It felt surreal. The large, long streaks across the sky and rippling slow movement with the beautiful stars in the background. Just a wonderful experience. Absolutely, Amy. It was just it's hard to put into words, isn't it? To what we saw. And let me show you here photos. These are the photos that I managed to take. This is one of those photos, and you can see those streaks of light, like what you were talking. There's the tree, and I see. I like taking photos where I put some objects in the foreground. I find that makes quite the difference of being able to do that. Let me see if I can. There, yeah, definitely. To me, that makes a big, big difference of you know, being able to put foreground objects. It just makes the photograph that much more beautiful. Ah, Chad, hey, just came in. Can we expect another color show tonight? Possible. We're still in storm conditions, so the space weather conditions are still very strong, close to what it was last night. So if it's dark where you are, now is a good time to go. I don't know, as the hours go on Saturday, it may dampen or it may repeat, it may go down the conditions and then go back strong again. I don't know. Nobody really knows. We're just watching the conditions. Again, what you want to look at are these. Let me show you these peaks. This is on Space Weather Prediction Center. I put a link, Chad, in the comments earlier. So if you just scroll up, you'll be able to see that link. It's an NOAA website. It's the National Ocean and Aviation Atmospheric Aviation. Uh, it's sort of like the atmosphere, the Earth and atmosphere version of NASA, which deals with space, right? So this one deals with the oceans and atmosphere agency, the federal agency in the United States. Anyway, they're actual space weather forecasters, scientists who study space weather like this that causes auroras. And you can see this is what the red bars all indicate that it is currently very, very high. Let me see if I can actually refresh this. There we go. That is right now what it is. Currently, we are still 3 hours at 8.67 on the KP index. The planetary K index basically looks at how much of the charged particle conditions there are. We're in a G4. You see up in the upper right hand level here in the corner, it says G4 in the little box. That's good. That means that there's good chances of seeing auroras in mid-latitude regions. And you see, it was all green before, all this green stuff. That was our Thursday and Friday before those clouds, those CME clouds hit the Earth's magnetic field. And then suddenly, boom, once they hit it, we had these high level conditions. They bumped them up really high into red zone. And then once they're in these red conditions, that's when you know that there's good chances of aurora. So if you see this, go on the website, keep checking. And when it's dark where you are and it's red like this, then it's a good chance of seeing something. So that's my advice indefinitely in being able to see auroras. So live view of the sun, guys, from Montreal. Who knows? Let's hope we get some more storm conditions today. And if it's dark where you are right now, I'm wondering if you're seeing any auroras. You might have to take photos. You know, photos are so faint, the auroras. That's how I started first last night. I started taking photographs and seeing the auroras in my photographs. I couldn't see them with my naked eye. They weren't strong enough yet in the early evening. And then suddenly I started seeing them with my eyes, little green glows and green spikes in the sky coming and going within seconds and minutes, shifting its shape. Very interesting stuff that was visible to the naked eye, but at first it was only through photographs. So that's why I recommend taking out all of this, taking out your smartphone. Virginia says she didn't see anything. Maybe tonight. Yes, and you do need clear skies, of course. Yes, looking north, and yes says looking north. That's the first place you would in the northern direction, right, towards the Arctic region. If you're in the northern hemisphere, if you are located in the southern hemisphere, you want to look towards the south. So northern hemisphere folks look towards the north. Those of you in the southern hemisphere look towards the south. Lillian says she has a video. Yeah, definitely. We can share it on my, I think you could share it on my Facebook. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah, so definitely easier to see with there's not as strong with a no flash camera. That's right. You know what I was noticing? That just reminds me. I was literally with my I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max. So literally I was with my phone, right? I was holding it with my hands like this, taking pictures, just handheld, 2, 3 seconds long. But guess what? You know the preview, like you get to see on the screen what you're going to take a photograph before you actually take it, the live view. I am kidding you not. The auroras were visible with color on the preview screen. Like that's how intense the auroras were last night. I didn't even have to take a picture or any exposure. I was just holding my phone and just panning it around in the sky and seeing the colors. Even though my with the eye I wasn't able to see always the intensity of the colors, but my phone camera system, my lenses were able to pick it up live. Now I also took some videos. I'm going to post those videos. I just have to convert them and I'll post them on my Facebook channel and on YouTube. So whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, just keep an eye out for that. I'll in the next day or two, I'll when I get to it, I'll post a nice little video. It was incredible. I was live taking videos of auroras. I've never thought I'd be able to do that, and that was really cool. That was so cool, guys. I hope we can get to do that again tonight. It's possible. Bell, I'm from Singapore. Would this insane G4 G5 to have happening in later in 2025 since we are in the solar maximum? Yeah, definitely. We're right now at the peak now and next year. So, as long as the sun produces more sunspots, and I think it will, we're in a good phase where every day there's sunspots and they're growing and ebbing and flowing on the surface of the sun. There's very good opportunities to see more of this. So yeah, definitely we need to keep our eyes peeled towards the sun because there are opportunities for more storms like this. I think this might not be the only one. And this says got it on her phone as well. So beautiful. Absolutely. Amy says 3 a.m. Yeah, I know, no kidding. Look at the size. There's that sunspot. You see, it's kind of moving away from us now as the sun is turning around on its axis, right? It takes 28 days for it to move around on its axis. So that will in 2 weeks' time it will appear on this side of the sun. And hopefully it'll still be there. Maybe it might be bigger. Could it be bigger? Could it be smaller? I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to be watching on this side of the sun in a couple of weeks to see if this guy is going to reappear. So it's kind of moving away from our. See, it's not as it's not facing Earth squarely like it did just a couple of 2, 3, 4 days ago. That's when those CMEs were released just a few days ago, and that sunspot group that you're seeing here was kind of closer to the middle of the sun, and that's why we were getting more direct hits from those sunspots, the flares from those sunspots. Makes quite a big difference. Yeah, so there's some talk there I see on YouTube. You guys are talking about catastrophic events. The likelihood is very rare. Maybe we might get some of our power grids knocked out, maybe a satellite or two, but I wouldn't worry too much. It's possible. We've reinforced a lot of the circuits and power grids since back here where I am in 1989 in Quebec. In March of 1989, we had the most powerful of these solar storms hit, and it knocked out our power grid, our Hydro-Quebec power grid. But that's not the case anymore. It's more likely that because we have secured a lot of our power grids since then, we've learned a lot of how to mitigate those kind of potentials. Now, not to say that it can't happen, but because we are a very technologically savvy society, but catastrophic happenings, I don't know. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I'm not saying it can't, but I don't think that's really. I'm more interested in the light shows that are happening and learning some science from what's going on. Um, that's for sure. If we could know when these big things happen and put out solar sails, can you imagine? Yeah, it would kick it into overdrive for sure. Solar sail technology would be amazing using these kind. I don't know. Maybe it'll be too powerful even to the solar sail. I wonder if it would just like rip up of the sail or something if it's a very, very powerful CME. Maybe we don't even need a very powerful one for like a very light one in terms of that solar wind to take that solar sail out, to high speeds. Would be very interesting, though, no doubt about it. Absolutely, Lee. That's right. The big superstar here we can thank is Earth's own magnetic field. It's this invisible bubble layer of magnetic field that encompasses the entire planet, and that's what gets hit. It's the magnetic field that gets rattled by these charged particle clouds, and the individual atoms get funneled in through the north and south pole regions. Naturally, that's where the magnetic field kind of scoops in, and the atoms burrow themselves into the atmosphere, and that's when they make the atoms in the atmosphere glow in all these beautiful colors that we see. So, yeah, very interesting. Yeah, 3 a.m. Sunday morning in Australia. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, that's right. You guys are already ahead and you guys are in Sunday. And I'm wondering are you seeing any potential for auroras there, Karine, in Australia? I wonder. It'd be very interesting if the storm levels that we're experiencing now are also kicking up auroras in the southern hemisphere like that. I know we had someone from Chile mentioning there was last night, but will it reappear? I don't know. So here we are watching the sun, Montreal, Canada, through my telescope system provided by Veonis. Just another shout out for folks there at Telescope. Thank you very much, Veonis, for providing this beautiful equipment, allowing me to share a view of the sun. And it's a lot of fun. It's fun to be able to do that. Um, this is actually a live view of the sun through the telescope. And you can see there is the sunspot. I'm just zooming in on it. View through the telescope live. There's another little sunspot there I can see in the middle of the screen. Let me see what else there is. And there, oh yeah, look at that. There's other small sunspots. Look, the sun is filled with freckles, guys. Imagine sunspots are basically cooler regions on the surface of the sun. Okay, the surface of the sun is generally over 6,000 degrees Celsius, and some of these stormy regions that are the sunspots, and that's where magnetic fields are in flux, fluctuates in around those sunspots. They're like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 degrees Celsius. There's another sunspot. I mean, like that little freckle that you see in the middle of the screen right here. I'm going to zoom in. Can you imagine that? This little freckle is about the size of the Earth. Here's another one, maybe even bigger than the Earth, this one. Look at that little sunspot. Storm on the sun. And then these ones here on the edge of the sun are coming into view. So we're going to get better views in the coming days. Just so, if I've got clear skies and I can set up my system, again, I'll show you some live views of these guys. So if you come back in a few days, just keep watch. And that's why you want to hit that notification button. You don't want to miss a live stream that I do. You'll see these. We'll keep an eye on these guys and see if they're going to come in and if they will grow in size. Perhaps, maybe we'll see in the next coming days. But it's incredible. But yeah, this is the guy that is causing all the action for us. It's this guy that's now moving away onto the other side. Will face the other side of the solar system away from us. And I don't know if it's going to grow larger, if it's going to dissipate. We'll have to see. Hello to everyone on my YouTube channel, also on Twitch and Facebook for joining. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good time. We've got a lot of folks everywhere around the world joining this live stream. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, and I basically do live streams of the night sky. I do every Monday, basically a curated tour of what you can see in the skies for the week. It's called the Night Sky This Week. It's on every Monday. So I invite all of you, if you've never been around or if you haven't seen it, just come by on Mondays. Usually it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Eastern Time, somewhere around there, I go live. And of course, you can watch it on demand. It's recorded and it's available to you on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and you can watch it anytime. But I basically give you my top picks for what you can see in the night sky every week. So every Monday, and usually there are things like with planets, with the moon, some star clusters, maybe some galaxies. There's something for everyone. So whether you're totally new and know nothing about the sky, I've got you covered. And also if you have binoculars and maybe a new telescope and you're looking for some ideas of what to see with your telescope, I've got you covered there too. Just some easy things. I try to keep it as easy as possible. And it's really not, my shows are not necessarily for those of you that are really savvy. I love to see my friends, my astronomer friends join, but really I try to focus on all of us who are just casual sky watchers. Maybe you're looking to know what you saw, a star, a planet. Is it a planet? Is it a star? Is it a star cluster? What can you see in the sky? Maybe while you're walking your dog, driving in the morning to your work, or maybe coming home at the bus stop and it's dark. Maybe you're out on a date and it's clear skies and you're wondering what those things are in the sky. I hope I can give you some tips and tricks and give you some cool facts about what you can see and just keep it light and easy. That's what it's about. We've got busy lives, guys, and so a lot of us aren't going to go into the hobby deep, but I've got you covered. You can always rely on me and sharing some cool stuff. So drop by, show your support, do some good stuff by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. It means a lot and allows me to give these live streams and star charts for you every week. So come on by. Just a lot of fun. I love seeing all my friends, stargazing friends from around the world. I see there's Kaneen, there's Trudy, there's Chad. We've got Virginia, Aurora anomaly. I like that. Yeah, that's a big sunspot. That's for sure. It is. It's huge. 15 times the size of Earth. 15 Earths side by side. Yeah, absolutely. We've got folks everywhere. UK. Let's see. Aaron says, South Wales, UK. It's 6:15 in the evening. And last night was the most mind-blowing spectacle I've witnessed in the night sky. I know. I just hope we get to see that again. Aaron. We'll see. And let us know, Aaron, if you do see something. And remember, use your smartphone to take some sample experimental pictures. Just snap some photos to see if there's photographic auroras. By photographic auroras are basically that are auroras that are only visible through photographs, not through the naked eye. That's usually how it starts. So I like to set up my camera and start snapping some photos of the sky every few minutes just to see if something is visible. Are there any green colors or purple colors, some pink colors that are just about visible? Sometimes I do a little image processing. I go in image process, edit the picture to bring out more vivid colors. I tried to do that so that maybe there's very faint hints of pinks and greens that even the raw photo doesn't show it. But if I edit it in, I go, now I see, once I edit the photograph to bring out the vivid colors, like to really pump up the editing, you need to process it to see those faint auroras. And that gives me a good kind of guidance that something's happening, something's going to happen in the sky. So I recommend doing that as an experiment to get ready for if something's happening. It just gives you an indication, that's all. So there's some tips for you to try. And that's with your smartphone. So great to have this technology, isn't it, guys? Smartphones really unlock so much capabilities for us now, like never before. Those of us that aren't even into astronomy can really get to do some cool celestial stuff with nothing more than your smartphone. Hey, Douglas, everyone's was able to see the sunspots with my eclipse glasses. Yes, that's a great point, Douglas. If you still have eclipse glasses handy, guys, you can see this giant sunspot with nothing more than just the glasses and your eye. You don't need a telescope with a filter on it. Just your eclipse glasses. Those solar viewers you can see the sunspots. Isn't that amazing? That's how big that guy there. I'll zoom in on him. This guy over here. He's so big that you can see them with just your eclipse glasses. Isn't that the coolest thing? And that doesn't happen every day. So before it moves away on the side of the sun and moves out of our line of sight, try to view it today. Today would be a good time to view it. I don't know, tomorrow it might not be so visible. We'll just see a little bit of it, I think. It'll move off screen. And I don't know if I'll have. I'm not sure if I can do a live stream tomorrow, guys, because I'm gonna have, I think, cloudy skies. Even today it was supposed to be cloudy. I don't know. I'm so lucky. And look at my blue skies. Look at that. Cool, eh? And you want to see my telescope? I'll show you my telescope here. Let me see if I can show you the telescope right there. That is, I don't know why it's not showing you. Why is it so? Yeah, what's a blur effect? That's my telescope there, basically. I think it's set to blur. Let me see if I can get that off. And I can show you my equipment. That's kind of fun to be able to do that. Oh, I see, because I've got this stupid thing on. There we go. Blurring effect. So let's see if I can kind of do that. Switch the thing here. Is it doing that? Is what's going on here? No, for some reason it's not doing that. Let's see if I can do that. There. So before we go on, just so that you can see, are you kidding me? It's still doing blurry? Wow, that's not nice, is it now, folks? Let me see if I can take that. There. There we go. There. I've got my Buddha there. There, that's my telescope system. That's the Veronese telescope. That's what's viewing the sun way up in the sky. I got a lot of trees there, but there you go. You get to see my setup. That's it. This right there is the telescope that's doing the view that we're seeing today. Isn't that cool? Technology is so neat. And this is the Veronese telescope. It's a French company in France, just amazing, state of the art. It's a combination of basically of the a camera system and a telescope, a traditional telescope system. And that's basically what provides this beautiful image. It's being emitted through Wi-Fi into my smartphone. And this is what produces. And look, maybe I can show you the image of my smartphone. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And that's what's going through into here, into our live stream. And we get to see, I get to share this beautiful thing with you. Isn't that fun? It's so much fun. And so this is something that we were never able to do. I mean, these were things that NASA was able to do, and other larger entities. And now you can do stuff, and you can see stuff. And here, with the beauty of the internet, I'm sharing it with all of you guys. I'm so excited. All my friends out there, do the good things. If you find value in this, guys, please do subscribe to my channel, give it a like, share it with your friends. I do live streams every week, and I'll be doing more stuff. More goodies are in the works, and we'll be able to view the sun together, explore all these amazing things in the night sky as well. Penny, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those kind words. I really appreciate it. So nice. Oh, it's getting warm here. I'm telling you, with the sun, it's awesome. Douglas says, hello, I was able to see Sunspot with my eclipse glasses. Yes, absolutely. Uh, Tree says, I was able to capture several images from my solar look with eclipse. Yes, plus look with eclipse glasses. I know there's, to actually see with your naked eye. I mean, look, obviously, look, I'm sharing this live stream. You're seeing a virtual image, right? A digital image of the sun. You guys are not looking at the sun directly. You're looking at the image through your whatever you're looking at, your iPad, your laptop, your desktop, your phone, whatever you're watching me right now doing this live stream, you're seeing a digital image going through the internet to you, right? Live. It's right now, it's 1:24 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, May 11th, and you're watching this. And it's amazing, by the way, the photons of light that's hitting my little telescope, going into my smartphone, then going into my laptop through the internet, that has traveled 150 million kilometers, right? It's traveled 8.5 minutes at the speed of light to get here. This image of the sun. It's really incredible that I can share this with you, all people, good people around the earth, right? It's incredible. This thanks to the technology that we have that I can do this, the internet time. But it's not the same as seeing it with your eyes. So if you have eclipse glasses, you can safely view the sun through your eclipse glasses and see the sunspot yourself. And it's awe-inspiring to imagine that little spot on the sun that you're watching with your eyes is 15 times bigger than our planet. It's mind-blowing. And the power that the sun has, the size, the sheer size of the sun, the distance that the sun is, this giant ball of gas, 150 million kilometers away, that provides all this energy that we use to live, to provide for us. And everything alive on the earth is thanks to because of the sun and that constant power that it has. It's incredible to think about it. Just all of these things go through my head when I'm watching this image of the sun and the sunspots. Got looking at the comments. Is the solar storm dangerous? Class 43 is asking. It can be if it's very, very powerful, long lasting, and particularly if it's the X-ray flares that can cause damage to circuit boards and stuff. We are very lucky. We have a magnetic field that protects our planet. So really, that's like we were just talking about it a few minutes ago. That's really the superstar in this whole show right now is the magnetic field around our planet that's very stable, very strong, and it protects us from any potential damaging effects from those X-ray flares. And really, it's like satellite that need to be taken care of. Uh, if it's very strong, and they know we have satellites that predict, by the way, watch the sun and predict all of these solar storms and stuff. So we have a good heads up, upwards of 2-3 days before they arrive. These charged coronal mass ejections, these charged clouds, the X-ray flares, we can shut down uh, satellites, we can mitigate some of the effects, not necessarily completely. So it's really our technology that's in space that may be more vulnerable to it. Power grids have been kind of reinforced in the last couple of decades, many places, not all everywhere, but we are more protected. But because we're so technologically savvy, it's our technology that's at risk mostly from a very strong solar storm. So that's really what we have to be taking care of, is our space technology. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, the magnetic field does fluctuate, the magnetic bubble around our planet, but it's still strong. We might be, it goes through ebbs and flows. And so when there's weaknesses, the orientation, it's more the orientation of our magnetic field, and how that magnetic field is oriented, that really has a bigger effect than the strength of the magnetic field in terms of how penetrating those charged particles are into the atmosphere, how far they get to burrow in and really excite those electrons, those atoms, I should say, in the atmosphere. That's really what determines how intense the effects are for us. So I'm like in the sun here. Let me see if I can actually move. Whoa. What happened? Hold on. There we go. Back in action. Let me just move and see if I can get into the shade. Whoa. There we go. So I can go and continue showing you the sun. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. Right orientation. And we have the sun there. Hey guys. If you're just joining, welcome. It's a live stream of the sun from Montreal, Canada. I'm the night sky guy, Andrew Fazekas. I do live streams, I do sky charts, I write articles, I do lectures, I write books, all about space and astronomy and stargazing. And I love to share my passion about stargazing with all of you guys, everything about space. I'm a complete space nerd. And I just love chatting about it and sharing it, views of the sky with all of you, my friends, my stargazing friends around the world. So I love that you're joining me. Well, look at that. There's some clouds going in. Yeah, there you go. So clouds moving across our field of view of the sun. Look at that. That's live from Montreal. And I'm going to see if this is going to stop the show or not. Nope. Cloud's going to be going away in a couple of seconds. So we're going to be good. There you go. So if you're just joining us, that's what we're looking at, is the sun, and the live view of the sunspot that has caused all the amazing shows that we have in the sky last night on Friday night. Hook and Needles asks, what's a good book or site to learn more about the constellations? All right. Well, here's it. I'm gonna. There's a self-serving answer here, I guess. I'll plug my own books. The Backyard Guide to the Night Sky is something that I highly recommend. Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. Let me see if I can actually show you. That's this one over here. That's the Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. I highly recommend that. It's a bestseller for the last few years, thanks to all of you who have purchased it. I actually sell them on my website, thenightskyguy.com. I do dedicated, signed, personally dedicated signed editions, shipped everywhere around the world. You can also find them, of course, in the better bookstores. Amazon has them as well. Not signed, of course, but if you want a signed gift edition, I do that. So this one is a great for beginners. It's a soft cover. You can take it with you wherever you go, and it gives you all the tips and tricks that I share with you on my live streams and from my many years of doing outreach astronomy with folks of all ages. I've taught kids as young as 4, and I've worked with retired folks as well who have time to delve into the hobby, and you can be using binoculars, just your naked eye. All the constellations, all of that is as well there. Also, I have another book called Stargazer's Atlas. This is a big one. It's a coffee table book. It's 6.5 pounds, so it's not something you want to take in your backpack. Something at home that you use to plan out what you're going to be looking at in the night sky. It has all the 88 constellations, and it talks about a lot of different types of objects that you can see. It explains the science behind them, and also I do star hopping tours of different deep sky stuff, looking at galaxies, nebula, star clusters. So it's great for beginners. It's great for people who are more advanced as well. It basically covers everything in terms of the night sky. It really is a true beautiful atlas. It's published by National Geographic, so I'm very proud of those um, teams that I've been working with. So Hook and Needles, I hope that helps. These are really books that I've spent a lot of time, years developing, and using all my tips and tricks that I've learned about observing through many years with people that I've encountered when I was younger, working with the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. Many older members, some who have passed away now, who were really amazing teachers and mentors for me in learning about the night sky when I was a youngster. I started learning about astronomy when I was, really, when I really got in was around 13 years old. And I thank my dad for introducing a telescope to me and helped me learn how to use it, and got me started on looking at the moon, stars, uh, comets, variable stars, doing astrophotography. So I've been doing that for most of my life, and for almost 4 decades now. It's my experience in astronomy, and I love to share that with all of you guys because the skies are for everyone, and it's free. And you don't have to have a telescope or binoculars to do observing the sky. So join me every Monday, and I'll teach you how to find cool stuff in the sky. You're welcome, Virginia. Thanks for joining. And Miller Weather, thank you for subscribing. That means a lot. It really does mean a lot to me to have it. Helps me uh, keep the momentum going with the channel, and getting some cool stuff, content to you guys. I know there's a lot out there, a lot of different content, prepackaged stuff, and I've done all of these things, but really live streams like this, connecting with you guys, I love it. This is like so cool. We're a community, and that's what we're building here, is a community together. Will the temperature rise today? I don't know. I have no idea if it will. Maybe. Oh my gosh, look how dark it is. Again, another cloud. Let me go check. Hold on. Looks like clouds are moving in, and this will probably mean I'll have to end this live stream because look how dark it is. The sun is almost completely out of view. I just see a bare view of the sun, and this means probably, and I can see we're gonna get some overcast conditions coming my way in the next few minutes. Unfortunately, I love doing this. I know I want to stay with you guys. I can stay a little bit. Let's see. Maybe I'll see. But if it really doesn't doesn't work out, I don't want to waste everyone's time here. But it's so much fun. I love doing these live streams. It's so much fun seeing all of you guys here. Oh. Melanie purchased Stargazer Atlas, coffee to it, and it truly is a beautiful book filled with beautiful content. It really is big. It's big. I know. It's really big. But there's a lot, 6.5 pounds. And it took me 2 years to work on that book, by the way. All 88 constellations, in-depth tours of all of them. It was a monumental work. And I wasn't alone. I had some friends at National Geographic, other writers who complemented the heart of the atlas with some great chapters on humanity's connection to the night sky. So one of my writer friends specializes in archaeoastronomy. Just amazing stuff. The archaeological astronomical sites, astrotourism, where you can go in the world to check out dark skies, and just amazing complementary chapters on the book. But you know, it's an atlas at heart, so it's there to really be as a guide. It's as if you have me, Andrew, by your side, helping you. That's what my books are really about. Just helping you out in the night sky and getting oriented and doing star hopping and stuff. So thanks, Melanie, for chiming in, and I'm glad you like it. Look at this. Arg! I just see a ghost of a sun now, and it's because I've got clouds, and I'll show you. You know, you can see here clouds. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it doesn't look so good for me with my live stream. But we had fun. Hey, I've been on here now for an hour and 40 minutes. I didn't expect to. It was just going to be like a 20, 30-minute thing, but you guys have such great questions. I love seeing everyone chime in. There's Sherry from Missouri, um, Martin in Albania. I could see the spots on the sun here in Albania. Don. Uh, a very handy book, Whittle Wanderer says. Thank you very much. So we got folks on both YouTube and Facebook, and also on X. Very, very nice. Thank you for doing this type of thing. Viewing is free. The sky is free. Absolutely. Exactly. The sky is for free for everyone. Why not go out and view? Look how easy it is. And you know, I just hope I can inspire you guys to seeing stuff. Lindsay's asking, would the sunspot be visible with eclipse glasses? Yes, yes, yes. Lindsay, if you have it, these, you know, that sunspot at the lower bottom of the sun, and you can see it barely through the clouds. That one, I'm zooming in. That's the one that you can see. Try it for it right now. If you've got clear skies right now today, go out and view it. Tomorrow might be harder because it's moving away. The sun is turning on its axis, so that large sunspot group is moving off the field of view. So, Lindsay, get out and view it if you can with your eclipse glass. Remember, you never look at the sun without safe solar filters in front of it. You can actually really damage it. It's not fake. This isn't, it's for real. Like you can really damage. In fact, here in Quebec, I don't know, there were dozens of people reporting with eye damage, temporary or permanent eye damage from the eclipse, watching the eclipse without safe solar viewing. I can't believe there were people nuts actually doing that, not believing it, but it's for real. You can really damage your eyes by looking at the sun without safe solar viewing. So you need to. I mean, my telescope is using this. I don't want to fry the circuits on my telescope. My Veonis Vespera telescope is equipped with a solar filter. That's what you're seeing here. See the clouds going by. That's the cloudy conditions, but the telescope needs to be protected, especially the image sensor, the CCD image sensor on board. It would get fried if I didn't have a solar filter. And our eyes are the same. You know, this organic image sensor that we have in our eye will get fried if you keep viewing it, the sun, you know, stare at the sun. So always use solar filters. Very important to do that. Oh, Lindsay says she does see it. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Imagine 15 times bigger than the Earth, Lindsay, that sunspot. It's just blows the mind. Blows the mind. Miller Miller Weather says thanks for the shout out. Of course, we're all in this together. It's awesome. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for sparing your time to be with me. Yes, Marcia says here's to clear skies and more aurora action. You saw the sunspot too through your eclipse glasses. That's amazing. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so the sun is still there. See, I didn't have to leave right away. I'm glad I stayed a little bit. So you guys get to see a little bit more. My goodness. Yeah. That's a good question. How did the ancients view the sun minus sunglasses? Yeah, I'm sure there was some damage going on. But you know what? I bet you they knew, like, don't stare at the sun because it's uncomfortable. It actually hurts your eyes. It's not a comfortable thing to do. So you know, probably some of these ancient people were smarter than us. Like it's some of us take it as a dare or something. I would never do that. It's just too dangerous. And even dogs. I don't know if you guys saw that through the eclipse in April. There was a lot of reports. I was asked to do a lot of interviews with the media about protecting your pets from the eclipse. That I thought was weird, but okay, cool. Yeah, do we need to protect your dog? Well, guess what? Your dog is probably smarter than we are. It doesn't stare at the sun with with its eyes. It doesn't need glasses because it's not gonna stare at it. It's smart enough to know our dogs. Telling you. So I have two dogs, and they didn't stare at the sun during the eclipse. Anyway, something funny. I thought that was funny, but hey, I guess so. Hello, Anna from Tucson. Hey, 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 welcome aboard. We're probably finishing up our live stream soon because more and more clouds. I'm watching ahead of me where the clouds are coming towards me and in front of me. And yeah, there's even rain. I could see some dark, rainy clouds coming. Lindsay says, "Yeah, definitely my dog didn't know to look up." Yeah, I'm telling you, our dogs are smart. Give them more credit. They're not going to look up at the sun and stare at it. Forget it. Yeah. So definitely, and I can tell you, I had two dogs with me during my two dogs during the eclipse, total eclipse, and they didn't look up at the sun. Uh, Definitely. Yeah, Marcia, it's called common sense, not looking directly in the sun. Animals have it, humans maybe, the modern humans, I don't know, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, and I don't go farther than that. I don't wade into any politics or anything. This is a political free zone. Uh, that's for sure. We just here to enjoy the skies, all of us. This is what draws everyone here, and I welcome everyone from around the world to come and join our community here with me, the Night Sky Guy. Together, we just have some fun, and virtually too. So it was nighttime, dark, where it is cloudy. Thanks for dropping by, guys. It's really nice of you to come by and share, and that's what it's about, sharing. Is there a possibility of a serious grid damage? Possibility of some, maybe, but a lot of our grids have been reinforced. We learned a lot from 1989 when we did have a power grid here in Quebec. A lot of people, that knowledge was given out to the world, so you would think that a lot of power companies learned from that. It's not to say that it won't happen, but it would take a lot, I think, a very serious storm for that to happen. And this wasn't at that level. Cheryl's asking, where am I located? I'm located in Montreal, Canada. You can see above there in the corner of the screen, it says Montreal, Canada. So that's in Northeast North America. I'm about 6 hours drive with a car north of New York City, just so that you know, in Canada. So there we go. Look what happened. Where's the sun? Hello, sun. It's gone. I think it's gonna be gone. Yeah, it does not look good, folks. This is, I think, I think this is the end. I've lost the sun. So, ugh, it was nice. Is it gonna come out? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I think my telescope is, yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time. It was a lot of fun. watching the skies, watching the sun. The sunspot was really, really big. And I don't know, it may still cause another event tonight. I'll definitely be watching the KP index that I showed you. The links are in the comments. So if you joined late, just scroll through the comments. I'll be also putting updated posts on my Facebook channel, so watch there, on Twitter as well. Those links are really good to watch, spaceweather.com, particularly for what's happening currently, hour by hour. And things are changing hour by hour. So there is still a chance of a storm. Is it going to be as intense as last night? I'm thinking it's unlikely, but you never know. I mean, it became stronger than we expected last night. So our forecasts are just not that good yet. So I would definitely be watching, um, my streams. I should say my posts on my timeline on Facebook and YouTube. I'll try to put a post on YouTube as well. I try to post on all of my platforms, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. But that's why I say watch on Facebook, watch YouTube, watch Twitter. Those are my main places that I post stuff. And I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky again. And I'll also post some of I took a really neat video, a handheld, get this, handheld video with my iPhone, literally panning around looking at the Aurora live last night, Friday night. I blew my mind. I got to show that with you. I'm going to prep that video to put it on my Facebook and YouTube channel, and you be the judge. I want to hear what you think. I couldn't believe it. Handheld Aurora pictures? What is going on? This is crazy. It's so cool. And I'd love to see what you guys are doing. So share them also on my Facebook too. You can put it in the comments, share them as separate posts. I'd love to see it. And look, you can see yeah, there's no more sun there. You can see yuck. Oh well. All right. So with that, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I sure did. Love your questions. Love seeing wherever you are. And I hope you all stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, as you know, I always wish you clear skies. Bye bye.